friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the budget that I wrote for the third week in July. We're going to be taking a look at all of the amounts that I budgeted, and we're going to take a look at my transaction log here on my calendar to see what I actually spent. And we're going to see whether I stuck to this budget or whether I came in over budget or under budget, etc., etc. So, if this is the type of video that you like, please take a minute and give this video a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. I would appreciate it. And it also lets me know that you are, enjoying this type of content. So, without further ado, let's just get started. So I have here in front of me my paycheck bill tracker that I filled out with you all in a budget video last week. If you missed that video and you want to go check it out, I will link it in a card above so that you can do that. But here under this bills category, I wrote in all of my bills and expenses for the week that I was planning on paying using my checking account, and so that's what we're going to check in with first. These first few things here are bills. So, first thing I have written down in here is my Lowe's payment. It was a minimum payment on a credit card. I budgeted $30, and as you can see here, by the way, we're looking at the week of July 20th through the 26th here in my calendar, and I'm actually going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see a little better. So you can see right here on Tuesday when my husband got paid, I paid that Lowe's card, that $30 that it was owed. So that was as expected. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that $30 in here under the actual column. If I'm under budget, I write in black ink. If I'm over budget, I will pull in a red ink pen and write it in red, just so that I can easily glance at the page and see week after week which categories I'm consistently going over budget in. If I find myself consistently going over budget in a category, then that indicates to me that I either need to curb my spending in that category or I need to up that budget and be more realistic with what I'm actually spending. So that's why I do that. Thought I'd explain that in case anyone is new here. So next up, I have my Subaru payment, which I budgeted $390 for. I can easily find that. Here under Friday, my Subaru payment was made. It's checked off. That means that I paid it. And the actual amount was $386.91. So I'll just go ahead and write that in here. Still in black because we're still under budget, which is good news. Next up, I have my husband's motorcycle insurance. For that, I budgeted $25. That's written in right here, and that came out at $21.59. So still under budget. Awesome. For car insurance, I budgeted $176. You can see that checked off right here, or you could if I'd put it in frame. There you go. Car insurance came out at $166.07. So under budget there as well. Feels so good to come in under budget, let me tell you. And then the very last thing I have written here under the bills category is gasoline, which for gas I budgeted $50. I track my gas transactions in this light, where is it? Oh, light pink color right here. I did fill up my gas tank on Sunday, and it cost me $39. It was nowhere near empty, and it still cost us almost 40 bucks to fill up. I think that got us like 3/4 of a tank of gas. Gas prices are crazy high right now. So $39 is what we actually spent. So I'm going to pull in my calculator, which I have here on my phone, and we're just going to go ahead and add everything up. So $30 plus $386.91 plus the $21.59 plus $166.07 plus $39. So in my bills category here, I spent $643.57. So we were significantly under budget here in this category. We budgeted $671. So we came in $27.43 under budget this week, which is so exciting. Let's see if we can continue that train of thought down here in the cash envelopes, because this is the area in my budget where I typically will go over budget if I'm going to go over budget. The variable expenses that I pay in cash are always a little bit tricky. So let's just go ahead and take a look. So in my calendar, I track our food expenses in bright yellow. Makes it really easy to find. And for food, anything that we eat essentially goes under the food category. So this is our grocery shopping. It's also any eating out that we do. Plus, you know, if I'm at the grocery store buying groceries and I happen to pick up like Ziploc bags or paper towels or whatever at the same time, I'm not going to separate out that transaction and pull that money out of my household sinking fund. I will just go ahead and include it in my grocery budget just to make it a little bit easier. So we had quite a few food transactions this week, so I'm just going to kind of go in down the line and add everything up. So the first one we had here on Tuesday was Aldi. I spent about $100. Realistically, it was like $98 and change. I just rounded it up to make it easy. I always just drop any change into a change jar here, so that's why you will always see like rounded numbers for the most part when I deal with cash, because I don't mess with the change. I just drop it in the jar and round up. So $100 for Aldi, plus on Thursday we ordered from Hungry Howie's and that was $45. And then on Sunday we did Tim Hortons for $4, had to have that coffee, and then we spent $50 more at Walmart for a few grocery items to get us through the weekend, and that is a grand total of $199. And if we look here, we can see that I budgeted $200. So I should have just one lonesome dollar left in my wallet. Let's take a look and see if that's accurate. So I have my wallet here. It is my Conscious wallet. I absolutely love this wallet. It has so many slots for cards, but it also has little rings where you can put in some cash envelopes. You guys can see my cash envelopes here. These are new, actually. I made these for myself. And this is actually the pattern that I'm going to be using for my September printables, which I'm so excited about. So I just wanted to kind of use that pattern and get creative and make myself some cash envelopes. So I did. So if we open up this envelope, you can see here I do have one lonely dollar remaining. So that is good news. That means my math was all accurate, and we can go ahead and move on to my husband's spending, which you guys know if you've been watching my channel for a while, I give him his $40 at the start of the week, and that's the end of it. I just pull it out of my budget. I don't even think about it again. He might still have some of this money left over in his wallet, but it's gone out of my budget. He'll roll it over into next week if he does. So that's always as budgeted at $40. Next, I have my spending money, which I get $40 as well. And I track my spending in this light purple color. Purple is my absolute favorite color. You can see I painted my nails purple this week as well. So I spent $21 on Amazon this week. I actually bought a really nice sheet pan with like a silicone baking mat and a cooling rack that came with it. It was a really great deal. It was like $20 or $19, and then with tax, it rounded up to about $21. I could have taken that out of my household sinking fund, but I had the money left in my envelope. I figured I might as well use it. So I spent $21 on Amazon. And then on Sunday, my husband and I drove home from our camper. We actually didn't stay at our camper this weekend. We just kind of went for a day trip there to take care of some like maintenance type things. We were starving, but our food budget was pretty much spent, so I went ahead and treated us to Taco Bell since I had the money left in my wallet in my spending money category. So that was $19. So 21 plus 19 is 40. That was the entirety of my spending money all gone. But you know what? That's what it's there for, to spend. So $40 was accurate. For my son's allowance, that's 20 bucks. I just hand him 20 bucks at the start of the week, provided that he does all his chores, which he did this week, so that is gone from the budget. And then lastly, I have my miscellaneous category. My miscellaneous category is just 20 bucks I stick in my wallet to use for anything that comes up throughout the week that doesn't kind of fall into one of these other cash categories. And I really put my miscellaneous budget through the paces this week. I used it quite a few times for various things. And it's never anything major, you know, it's like 2 bucks here, $3 there, but I was glad I had it this week because I needed it quite a few times. So first up, on Tuesday we spent $7 from the miscellaneous envelope. And then on Thursday we spent 3 more. And sometimes this could have been like a cup of coffee at Tim Hortons, or, you know, it could be something that falls under another category, but I just didn't want to spend from that category that day for whatever reason. Like this, for example, this $3 was definitely a cup of coffee from Tim Hortons that I just pulled it out of my miscellaneous budget. I believe it was because I didn't have correct change in my eating out envelope. So this miscellaneous envelope really gets used for whatever I want. And then lastly, on Saturday, we spent 8 more. So that's a grand total of $18. I budget 20, so that is under budget, which is awesome. So that means then that there should be 2 bucks left in my miscellaneous envelope. Let's find out. So my spending envelope is definitely empty, as you see. I spent everything. And then for miscellaneous, there is, yep, $2 left. And as you can see, when I was making my envelopes, I accidentally punched right through that dollar. I made them wrong. When I was measuring everything, the measurements, I included the little bit of the tail that I meant to leave on here that was just lamination. And I forgot to account for that. So when it came time to punch these envelopes, I had to punch right through the entire envelope rather than just the little end section. I don't even know if that's making sense, but if you make cash envelopes, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it doesn't really matter. Either way, I had my little dollar in there that I was using for size reference, and I forgot it was in there, and I punched right on through it. But that's okay, it'll still spend. So that miscellaneous money is left over, so that's just gonna kind of hang out there until I figure out what I want to do with it. So overall, we are under budget in this envelopes category, so let me go ahead and add everything up. $199 plus 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 18 is $317. And that, of course, means that we have that $3 left over. $3 under budget, not too shabby. All right, next up we have sinking funds. And if you watched my video where I wrote out my sinking fund budget, or when I wrote out my budget in general, here under the sinking funds, I had originally written in like 500 and something, and that was way wrong. One of you commented on my cash envelope stuffing and were like, wait, that math doesn't add up. And that is because when I wrote my budget, I wrote in that 500 and whatever it was here in sinking funds. That was a mistake. I was looking at the wrong column of my budget draft, and I wrote that in. The amount that I wrote in was actually the total amount of cash I was supposed to pull out of the bank, not just for sinking funds. So I did go back and fix this. The amount that I was actually supposed to budget for sinking funds was $339, and that is exactly what I pulled out and added to our sinking funds. So that was just kind of a an accounting error more than anything. I had pulled the right amount out of the bank for sinking funds. I had just written in the wrong number, but that's the reason I use erasable pens. I can go in really quickly and change when I make a mistake. For extra debt, I budgeted $50 for our Lowe's card. You can see here on my transaction log that we did indeed send $50 to my Lowe's card, so that was as expected. And so for rollover, I don't write in the amount because I don't disclose my husband's income, so I have to leave this blank. That way you can't easily add everything up and figure out what my husband's income is. But I can tell you that we're actually going to be able to roll over a little bit more than what we had originally anticipated because we came in under budget in these categories. I could take this $27, $28, $30 and send it to my Lowe's card as an additional debt payment, but I don't think I'm going to do that this week just because I'm going to stick it in with the rest of the money that I'm going to roll over, and that's going to make our rollover amount a little bit higher, which is good because, you know, with paycheck fluctuations and all of that, it's nice to have a little bit of a buffer in my account. So that is it for my budget results for the third week of July. It was a great week. We did not have to use the dreaded red ink. I'm always ecstatic when I can do an entire budget on track, under budget, and it worked out really well this week. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single weekday. I'd love to have you come back. It's always so exciting to watch my subscriber count grow. I appreciate all of your support so much. So with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends!